Okay, good evening everyone. This is AJ, otherwise known as the Movie Owl. Yes, so welcome to my channel, welcome to my video. Now, I want to do a video covering all my Blu-rays and all my 4Ks. What you can see behind me is, not all of them, probably got about 3,000 in total. Now me personally, I like watching other people's videos of their collections. It inspires me, it gives me ideas. I pick up on films that I've not seen and that look interesting, and then I will source and watch. Yeah, so with this video, I'm going to start looking at my steelbooks. Now, I don't think I'm going to do this all in one video because it will go on for quite some time. So I'll do half the collection now, and I'll do the second half in another part. So now you will see me bending down a lot, side to side, because I've got to reach from one side and put to the other as we go through. I've collected physical media from the days of VHS back in the 80s, all through. I've done VHS for a while, I've done Laserdisc, moved on to obviously DVD, then Blu-ray, and now it's primarily Blu-ray 4K. Occasionally I will pick up a DVD or two if it's something that isn't available on Blu-ray. That's the only time. So shall we get started? Now, this is in no particular order whatsoever, so we'll just have to go for it, won't we? Okay, so I'm going to pick some up. Okay, so first up, Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, Creed. Really good film. Didn't expect anything from it, being that it's sequel to the Rocky franchise, which had a couple of good installments. It's essentially a remake of Rocky, following Apollo Creed's son, Michael B. Jordan. But it is a really good film. Stallone got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He should have won. So, that was Creed. Next up, Star Trek, the motion picture. Probably my least watched Star Trek film. Shot really nice, but Christ, is it boring. It's boring. Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. The episode that was a sequel, the film that was a sequel to the episode of Star Trek, the original series, Space Seed. Ricardo Montalban as Khan, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. Great film, great submarine film. Nicholas May as the director. James Horner done the soundtrack, fabulous soundtrack. Genesis Countdown, Battle in the Mutara Nebula. Great themes from that film. Next up, Star Trek Search for Spock. This is part 2 of the original film trilogy. Sorry, it's part 2 of the original film series trilogy, made up of parts 2, 3 and 4 of the film series. So, yes, this is one where they have to go and search for Spock, as the title says. It's a good film. Christopher Lloyd plays the villain. Yes, you Klingon bastard, you killed my son. Great film. Next up, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. This is the most easily accessible Star Trek film for non-Star Trek fans, being that it's the one where they go back in time to the 1980s in the hunt for some humpback whales to save the future. Yes, William Shatner's Star Trek directing debut, Final Frontier. The Search for God. Not a great Star Trek film. But then we have The Undiscovered Country. Nicholas Meyer, who directed Star Trek 2, came back to direct this one. Yep. Kim Cattrall stars in it, from Sex and the City fame. Police Academy. With Christopher Plummer as the villain. Cry Havoc and Let Slip the Dogs of War. Then one of my personal favourite Star Trek films, Generations. I love Generations. I love the meeting of the two captains, Bill Shatner, Patrick Stewart coming together. I had no issue with the way Kirk died, because his death at the beginning of the film is the one that history would remember, so to speak. I think the film is shot lovely. It looks great. Got some great acting by Patrick Stewart. Yes. And plays heavily on Moby Dick. Next up, First Contact. Another really good, fun Star Trek film. The Borg. It's what people wanted to see. The humour a bit puts me off in the film. But it's a good film. Now these are all sealed because I do have them on standard. Right there. Yeah. That's why there's a gap, because the steelbooks sit there. So, Insurrection, which is pretty much a extended episode of the Next Generation TV series. That's how it feels as a film. Last but not least for that film series is Star Trek Nemesis, the final film for the Next Generation crew. Tom Hardy plays the villain, clone of Picard. And then we come into Star Trek, the remakes. Fun film, very good film this one actually. Done very well for itself in the cinema. Yeah. Then we have Star Trek Into Darkness. I'll show you both at the same time. I have two steelbooks for that. There's one. That's the back. There's two. Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. I didn't mind the film. I don't know. Star Trek Beyond. In homage to the poster cover for the very first Star Trek film, that is, which I can show you, as you can see. Just an interesting little fact there. Next up, Star Trek Season 1, Discovery. Michael Berman. Klingons are awful in this. I hate them. Season 1, like any Star Trek series, Season 1's always a bit thingy. But when they came back with Season 2, the inclusion of Ensign Mount as the Enterprise's original captain, Captain Pike, was great. Great casting. Looking forward to his series when they do that. So that's Season 2 of Discovery. Next up we have Season 1 of Star Trek Picard. Yes. Make it so. Last but not least for the Star Treks, Lower Decks. This was imported from America. I had a lot of fun with this cartoon series. Didn't take yourself seriously. Yeah, enjoyable. Okay. Oh, let me grab the next batch. Okay, there can be only one of these. Highlander. Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery. Great film. If you've not seen it, watch it. I hope they don't do a remake. They will spoil it. There was Highlander 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 films in this series. Highlander 2, The Quickening. Highlander 3, The Sorcerer. Highlander 4, Endgame. And Highlander The Source. Yeah. I have got all of them bar The Source on Blu-ray. Say what you will with me. There you go. I did enjoy the TV series as well. Adrian Paul as Duncan MacLeod. Highlander 4 is pretty much a continuation of that TV series. Highlander Endgame, that is. Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows. Yeah, what can I say about that film? Midway. Cardboard outer box. 4K version. That's the interior box. Yeah. Booklet inside. What do I think of this film? It was alright. The CGI was too crisp, at times it almost looked cartoonish, I reckon. Didn't have didn't feel real enough. You know, that sort of gritty war sort of. But yeah, it was too clean and crisp for my liking. Next up, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, this is the Zavvi exclusive with a lenticular cover, which is magnetic. It removes, revealing the same image but embossed. Yes, with his unicorn. We'll know what he uses that for. Yes. So there we go. I have got, Zavvi have done a selection, a series where all the X-Men films are done in this vein. The only two I've ordered is this and Deadpool 2. I already have Deadpool 2 on 4K, but I'll get the lenticular steelbook for that. All the others I've pretty much ignored because they're hit and miss with the X-Men films for me. So, yeah, you know. Next up, Sharknado. Yeah. Awful film. Great steelbook. The art on it is great. Not so much the back. The front, I was just drawn to the front. Oh, I like that. I want. X-Men Dark Phoenix. 4K. Steelbook. How they can screw up the Phoenix saga twice is beyond me. Next up, the film that put Sharon Stone on the map. Police Academy 4. Not really. Basic Instinct. Michael Douglas. Yes. J-card. That's the front. Some nice spot gloss. Some debossing. 3 discs. And the back. Fingerprint magnet. Does this film need a 4K release? I can think of one scene that might benefit from that 4K transfer. One of the most paused scenes in movie history. Next up, Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise, War of Worlds, 4K. The original, the Blu-ray 4K release had exactly the same steelbook release. Yeah, the Blu-ray release, yes. Arrow, Hellraiser, Pinhead, and the Cenobites. Yeah, great film. Next, 4K release of Whiplash from Germany. You might see this quite a bit. Yeah, Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons. This was a brilliant film. Brilliant film. If you got it, you got it. And I got it. But I'm embarrassed to say, I probably only saw this about 5 months ago. Oh my God, it's a great film. Next up, Mortal Kombat. And Mortal Kombat Annihilation, one steelbook. Yeah, it's the first film. It's really good. I remember going to see it, 1995. I saw it in a cinema in Peckham Rye. Yeah. Don't think I'll be venturing down there now. Yeah, Peckham Rye. Me and mate went to see it. Had a lot of fun with it. Still a fun movie. Better than the remake they'd done. But that one there, Annihilation, don't even waste your time. Next up, a bit of Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead 2. Nice steelbook. Yeah. Like a bit of Bruce Campbell. Always been a big fan. Army of Darkness. I can sure rewatch that film over and over again. The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., the TV series. This man is a god. I don't mean that in a sexual way. He's great. Bruce Campbell's a great actor. A lot of fun. Great B-movie actor. I've read both of his books. If Chins Could Kill and Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. Both really good books. Very funny. Worth a read if you read. Should pick up a book. Next up, Poundland purchase, £2. Pixels. I had fun with this film. I know it gets a lot of hate. Adam Sandler. I didn't mind it. I like the cover. I think that's a great, great image. And yeah, I don't see the issue with that film. But there you go. Each to their own. Next up, oldie, classic. Creature from the Black Lagoon. and Creature from the Black Lagoon. I didn't know which one I preferred the most, so I ended up with both of them. This one here, Alex Ross artwork. He's a comic book artist. One of his first biggest works was with Marvel for a series called Marvels. It's entirely painted comic book series. He's done stuff for DC. He's a superb artist. Yes. So next, The Invisible Man. Again, Alex Ross art. And Count Dracula. Again, Alex Ross. The Mummy. Boris Karloff. Alex Ross again, cover. And I've not got them all, but Bride of Frankenstein. Again, Alex Ross. I'm missing out on Frankenstein, I know. At some point, I'll probably get it. And again, after that, bit of a change. Grease 1 and 2 Steelbook. Embossing. Like a locker, as you can see. Yeah. Now, I've got to ask you a question now at this point. Whether you're a man or a Muppet. Kermit. Good film. Amy Adams. Yeah, a lot of fun. Poundland again, £2. Steelbook, Public Enemies. Johnny Depp. Not watched it. Next up, got this cheap. Bought it because it was cheap. £4 off Amazon. 4K version of Men in Black International. I believe it was £4 anyway. It was very cheap. I couldn't turn down a Steelbook at £4. Not a very good film at all. Next up, John Carpenter. One of my favourites. Escape from New York. Kurt Russell. Ernest Borgnine. Donald Pleasance. Snake Plissken. Come on. Great film. Sorry, I've got to go down again. Thank you for waiting, I'm back. Okay. Monsters Dark Continent. The sequel to Monsters. Yeah. Monsters was an okay film. Whoa. Wild Stallions. What number are you thinking of? 69. Yeah. Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Great film. A lot of fun. And Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Again, I prefer this one over the original. It's so original. It's, I don't know, it's a great film. It's just complete, yeah, it's a brilliant film. I haven't got the Steelbook of the third one. I do have the triple pack that was released where all three of them were on Blu-ray in it. So I do have the third one in that sense. It was either the Steelbook or that. I chose that for the free. Next up, great film, Dredd, Carl Urban. Unfortunately, not many people saw this film. They didn't go to see it at the cinema. Missed out, and we missed out on a sequel. It deserved a sequel. Yeah, Carl Urban just made this character his own. He embodied it. Great, great film. Oh. Stallone, Judge Dredd from Germany. Now, I understand why Judge Dredd purists dislike this film. But as a Sylvester Stallone action movie, it is great. It looks fantastic. It's got a great score to it. The suit looks fantastic. The bike's great. It's just, I had a lot of fun with this film. A lot of fun. Came out in '95, same year as Batman and Batman Forever. Obviously Batman Forever wiped up at the box office. This didn't, but yeah, this, if I had to choose a film that needed a 4K release, it would be this. But yeah, it's better than I prefer it to Demolition Man. It's better than Demolition Man in my opinion. Next up, Frank Miller comic book, Sin City. Bruce Willis, Jessica Alba, a lot of other names. Great film. this could do with a 4K. So it's got a 4K release? I don't think it has, but then you have Sin City Part 2, A Dame to Kill For. Came out about 10 years too late, unfortunately. Yeah, but there you go. From Germany again, primarily because the English version was cut. Brightburn. Great concept. What if Superman came to Earth and was raised by... Well, was bad, basically. It turned out to be bad. Although the film didn't reach its potential, it didn't, you know, it could have done so much more. Well, it was okay. Next, a film that's all style over substance. Zack Snyder's Sucker Punch. Yeah, the film looks great, but it is rather boring. Pet Sematary, the original version, Mondo Steelbook. I do have some other Mondo Steelbooks when I get to them. That's the case. Slip stuck to the back. I won't take the J card off, but that's your cover. That's your Steelbook. I've seen the remake. I've not watched this version yet. Why'd I buy it? Because I thought it was a fantastic looking Steelbook. That's what collectors do. Next, Zachary Levi, Chuck. Shazam. This was a good film. A lot of fun. Glad we're getting a sequel. Yep. Emma Watson, Disney, Beauty and the Beast. Did we need a remake? I don't know. Do I like it? Yeah, it's alright. Not a bad movie. The only criticism I've got is some of the CGI. It looks like the Beast himself is not finished, not rendered properly. That he needed a few months more work. But yeah, it's an alright movie. Then we have Disney again, 4K, Raya and the Last Dragon. Nice Steelbook. Nice looking Steelbook. Yep. Mulan. The film. The live action one. I've not seen the 4K. I've not seen the animated version. I enjoyed this. So I can't really criticise any differences. Yeah, I had fun with that film. Beyond Skyline, the second in the Skyline trilogy, probably the best of the three of them. German Steelbook release. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Great cover, great art, poster. Yeah, Liam Neeson. Okay. Steelbook of Solo, Star Wars, 4K. I didn't have a problem with this. Quite enjoyed it. I quite liked, what's his name again? Something Ehrenreich. Alden Ehrenreich, wasn't it? Yeah. I didn't mind his casting. I thought it was alright. I thought he'd done alright. I'm glad they didn't cast that fella who does the really great Harrison Ford impression, because I wanted to watch 2 hours of an impressionist. It would have taken me out of the movie. But in light of watching stuff like The Mandalorian and the other spin-offs that we're getting, this has gone up more and more in my book. That's made this seem better, because it feels like it fits into that sort of category. Yeah, Woody Harrelson, Donald Glover. Yeah, the best Star Wars Disney era film, Rogue One. Fantastic. I saw this in the cinema in Leicester Square. Took my wife and my 2 youngest children. My daughter, she was bored stiff. She moaned like anything. I said to her I'd take her into the Disney the Disney store, not Disney store, the Lego store afterwards, but we couldn't get in there. The queue was mental. She went home disappointed. I did take her back there though, I promised her. I took her back, we did go in. Yeah. Next up, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Film that ruined it all. Yes. Do I like this film? all I can say is this looks like the best filmed of the new 3 Star Wars films. It's the most mature in its storytelling. It's the best shot. Yeah, it's got problems. It's a really frustrating one. I don't know. It's unfortunate what happened with Star Wars. It really is. Then we have Watchmen, the TV series. This isn't a follow-on from the Watchmen film. This is a follow-on from Alan Moore's graphic novel of the same name. It's Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman. It's Alan Moore, isn't it? I should know, I've read it. Oh, I'm confusing myself now. Okay, anyway, next up, you can correct me. Scarlett Johansson, Ghost in the Shell. Fantastic steelbook. I like it a lot. Yeah. And keeping on with that theme, and Flux. Charlize Theron. Nice. Next up, Zavvi exclusive, I believe, in a cardboard outer. Beetlejuice. Now, I've never seen Beetlejuice. It's a 4K version. I bought it. I watched it. Not that good, is it? What do people see in this film? I mean, Michael Keaton's great. Yeah. What do you see in that? Please tell me. Enlighten me, someone. Okay. Next up, one of my favourite James Bond films. Pierce Brosnan, GoldenEye. Not my favourite James Bond, but one of my favourite James Bonds. Do you want to know my favourite James Bond? Timothy Dalton. Yep, Timothy Dalton. I won't get into it, but yeah, License to Kill, superb. Soul, Disney Soul 4K. Not watched it yet, still need to. Classic from the 1980s, my childhood. Goonies. There you go. Yeah. Truffle Shuffle. Goonies is a classic film. There's another 4K release actually coming out from Titans of Cult. Where are we? There we go, Titans of Cult releases there. So I will be getting that. So we'll have another 4K release. Why? Because that's what we do. Sonic the Hedgehog, German release. A lot of fun with this film. A lot better than what it deserved to be. Yeah. From Arrow, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Not watched it, but there you go. The very first Marvel film ever made. Howard the Duck. This is getting a 4K release. This is just standard Blu-ray, but it's getting a 4K release with a steelbook. I will not be getting it. I'll leave that until Divergent. Enough said. £2, not opened, but I've seen the film. Liam Neeson, Pierce Brosnan, Seraphim Falls, Western. Good film, good film. £2 from Poundland. Next we have Disney Pixar classic, Toy Story. What can I say about this film that hasn't been said? My kids grew up loving it. I loved it. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Do-do-do-do-do. When the road looks rough ahead. That's enough of that. Next up, another classic from Pixar, Nemo. And one of my favourite steelbooks. I might do a steelbook ranking at some point of my favourites. Look at that. Look at that. Embossing. Bruce the Shark. Nemo, Dory. Yeah, that's a... Oops, let's have a look in there. Fantastic looking steelbook. There is a Zavvi exclusive 4K, which is already shipped to me. I was hoping it would arrive today, but it didn't, so it'll probably come tomorrow. Now, a bit of an odd one, this one, because let's just show you the size comparison. DVD size. Yeah. You probably saw what that was as well. Frank Langella, Dolph Lundgren, Masters of the Universe. The live-action motion picture. A lot of embossing on that. A lot. And that's the interior. Contains a DVD and a Blu-ray. It's obviously, it is a foreign release. Maybe Dutch or something. Has got English writing on the back. Yeah. Master of the Universe. Oh dear. I'm getting too old for this. Getting too old for this. Next up, Kurt Russell. Won the Baldwins. Robert De Niro. Scott Glenn. 4K version. Backdraft. Fantastic film. Ron Howard directed. Shot in such a way that the fire is alive. The fire is a creature in it. You know, that's how it comes across. A living, breathing, roaring creature. It's out to get you. Great film. Next up, Gerard Butler. Monica Baraka. Deadpool's Missus. Firefly. Homeland. Yeah, Greenland. The End of the World. Good film. Another one. I've got two of these, I think. They came from Poundland, £2. Angry Birds. Not watched it. Saw one scene. I bought this for £2 based on one scene. And that's the scene where the birds have found the eagle's lair. Nice looking pool of water, and they dive in and they're swimming about, blasting each other, having fun, spraying water. They see the eagle wake up, walk over and start urinating into it, and it's basically the eagle's toilet. I was in stitches at that point. Yes, I bought it based on that one scene, and I've yet to watch it. Next up, Dwayne Johnson, Karen Gillan, Jack Black, and what's his name? Little funny guy. Jumanji, The Next Level. Yeah, enjoyable films. Amanda Seyfried and Clive Owen, Anon. Another one I'm yet to watch. I'll get to it. Disney, Tomorrowland. George Clooney. I remember enjoying this film. I had no issue with it. Yeah. I don't know. 4K. Keanu Reeves. Speed. Sandra Bullock. Great film. Great film. Don't let this bus stop going below 50 miles an hour, or it will go kaboom. Jeff Daniels. Dennis Hopper. Classic action movie. Die Hard on a Bus sort of thing. Yeah, nice. Good film. Next up, a Disney animated film, one of my favourites. A Tale as Old as Time. Beauty and the Beast. Lovely steelbook. I like the design. Like a stained glass window, just the middle. That's the back. Interior, 4K release. Yeah, fantastic. Another one I got cheap. Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt, Hugo Weaving, The Wolfman. Saw it years ago. Got the steelbook cheap. Can't remember it. There you go. Okay. Alright. So, next up, Bruce Willis, Milla Jovovich. Fifth Element, 4K. Gary Oldman. Yeah. It's a good film. It looks great in 4K. I made a mistake of when I saw it. I was in Leicester Square and I saw this. Me and a mate went to see this at the same time as seeing Con Air, Nicolas Cage. We went into Con Air first, then this straight after. After seeing Con Air, this seemed mediocre. Con Air just blew me away. I was on this Nicolas Cage high at the time after The Rock. And yeah, so I had to rewatch this a few times before I sort of really enjoyed it. Yeah, there you go. Idris Elba, Mr. R.I. himself, Matthew McConaughey. The Dark Tower. Got this for cheap. Not watched it yet. Next up, Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, Richard Harris. Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood's always good, isn't he? Come on. Yeah. Lovely steelbook as well. Lovely. Another Mortal Kombat release. Mortal Kombat Legends. Scorpion's Revenge. Now doing a sequel. Another Mortal Kombat Legends movie. No doubt I'll get the steelbook for that if they do one. Very violent. 18 rated, as you can see. Super gory. A lot of fun. Another German release. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maggie. Steelbook with embossing there. Yeah. My daughter's turning into a zombie. Slowly. Robert Englund. Wes Craven. Nightmare on Elm Street. Old Pizza Face. Freddy Krueger. Yes. The Dream Demon. First film. Steelbook. It's not 4K or anything. But yeah. Classic. I was at the right age for these films when these came out. I remember seeing the first one on Laserdisc. My brother had it. And I always got blamed for scratching that disc. Whether I did or not, I don't know. Who knows? Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys. What are you going to do when they come for you? Great film. Tia Leone. Police badge on the back. Front's got some debossing where there's the bullet hole over the O. Good film series. Now I know I had a release of this earlier. This is a double. No, I said double the film, but different release. This is from America. Best Buy imported. Dredd. Yeah. Another release. It's got its own slipcover. Nice. I had to get this because I love the film and I love this box, the artwork on it. Look at that. Glorious. I am the law. And interior. It's like that. Yep. Let me take these discs out. Obviously I ain't done this for many, but this one is rather good. Nice, nice, nice. Still a disappointment that we never got the sequel to that. Poor Carl Urban. He was fantastic. Okay, we are reaching the end because I'm aware that this is going on for some time. So I am going to do this as my last pile. Mulan, the animated film. Again, a great steelbook. I haven't watched the film yet. I bought this on the back of seeing the animated one. Oh, sorry, the live action. I wanted to see the animated. Nice steelbook. Very nice. Now, a 6-part film series that isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I quite enjoyed. Resident Evil, Milla Jovovich. It's a foreign release because I love these steelbooks. There's Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction. The first trilogy's, well, the first 3 films, that trilogy's the best of the 6. Then we get into Afterlife. Now, unfortunately, I haven't a steelbook of this for Retribution, like this pattern. So my Retribution steelbook is currently sat like that. But still, can't have it all. And then Resident Evil Final Chapter. I know it's a foreign release, but they do have the English language tracks. So all good there. Okay, next up we have The Death of Superman steelbook, German release. Animated. And then the Lego Batman movie. A lot of fun. Great film. I do have a 4K version as well. Because it looks fantastic. Another DC Universe. The Reign of the Supermen. Obviously, the Superman comic where he died came out in 1993. And then they done the Reign of Superman storybook, which is where you had 4 characters: Cyborg Superman, the Eradicator Superman, Superboy, and the Man of Steel. John Henry Irons take up the mantle of the Superman. Yeah, great film, great animated film. John Henry Irons is currently in Superman Lois, the new TV series. I want to see him in a suit like that. Next up, Wonder Woman 3D release. Good DC film. First 2 parts. Anyway, the ending isn't too great, but there you go. Kate Beckinsale, Underworld. Forgettable film series, really. Interchangeable with Resident Evil. It's like they just come off of a conveyor belt. They press a button. It's like you could just change out the characters from one to another and it would still work. Yeah. Toxic Avenger. First one. Doing a remake. Sometime soon. And War for the Planet of the Apes. Great film series. Andy Serkis. Why the third one didn't get as much, make as much money as the others, it was beyond me. But brilliant film series. 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to make this my last controversial one. Indiana Jones, £130. I did not pay £130 for this. I did have it on pre-order. I cancelled it, and I cancelled my pre-order for the standard release as well. Now, that's the first one, first Steelbook. You notice the 4Ks are missing. I do have the 4Ks. The 4Ks are currently sat in this box. Reason being is that I got the 4K discs for free. But how? AJ, how do you do that? Doesn't matter. Nefarious reasons. No, I didn't steal them. But I got them for free. And then some fella was selling this set on eBay, the Steelbook set, bidding. I put in a maximum bid of £45 and I got it for £31 plus £4 postage and packaging. 35 quid for the 4 Steelbooks. So I got them. I wasn't going to pay, you know, I've had rants about this this set because it was lazy. It was horrible and lazy. You know, even the fold out version box was horrible and lazy. They don't deserve people's money for what they done there. They really don't. I mean, look at this by comparison. You know, it's got the same picture on the front, but not the white, and on the back, that's the same as on the 4K fold-out release. But this has got a metallic sheen to it. It's got spot gloss. You know, it's raised slightly across the title, some embossing, very slight embossing. You open it up, and you've got some. This is the original Blu-ray release, by the way. You've got some fantastic art for each of the films. Yeah, you've got fantastic artwork for each of the films. What they also done was they gave you, in the new version, exactly the same bonus feature disc as what was in this originally, which is that. So all I've got to do is transpose those discs into that box, but then I ain't got no Blu-rays to sit in that. But anyway, so yeah, so that's how I got 35 quid, so I'm happy. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today because I'm only about halfway through my Steelbook collection, and I've got a lot more to do. So I don't want to take up too much of people's time. This has been going on for like 45 minutes. It's a long time. That's a long video. But if you've watched, thank you for watching. Let me know what, you know, have you got any of these Steelbooks? What are your thoughts on, just get into a lively chat about films and everything. Create a community. I'll respond to any messages. Click the notification bell. Subscribe if you want. I'm not forcing you to. Yeah. thank you for watching, and I will do part 2 in a couple of days, the rest of my series. I haven't done my Marvel titles, still a lot to go through. So, yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Take care of yourselves, thank you for watching, and see you later.